So we're going to be creating a query that includes a calculated field. And to do this, we're going to go into Create and Query Design. We are using the work order table. And let me close the Show Table window. And the fields that we want to include are work order, service date, hours, and rate. And then what we want to do is total up the cost of the labor by multiplying hours and rate. So to do this, we're going to enter a calculation into the next column here. And the book has you go into Builder and enter it in the Builder window. I typically just enter it right on the field row. And I'll show you what Builder looks like, but it's just as easy to do it here. And our column heading is going to be total labor. So when you're doing a calculated field, whatever you key in first, followed by a colon, becomes the field name or your column heading. Whatever follows the colon, whatever's after that, needs to be your calculation. And if you're going to use field names, they have to be in brackets. So we are going to put hours in brackets. And you need to make sure that you key the field name in correctly with the same exact upper and lower case and the same spelling. So we've got hours. Then we're going to multiply that by rate. And where people have problems with calculated fields, again, is that they misspell the field name. Okay? And then obviously it's not going to work. So this is the calculation that we want to use. Now, the book has you go into Builder and type it in up here. There really is no difference. Okay, so it's kind of a personal preference thing. I prefer to key it in the field and not go into a separate window. So I'm just going to press Enter. And we're going to go ahead and save this before we run it. And we're going to call this thing total labor. And then let's run this. Okay, so you can see that we have our total labor column, but there is an issue with the number formatting. So we're going to fix that. We'll go back into Design View. We're going to right-click on total labor and go into Properties. And then for the format, in order to get 2 decimals, we're going to choose Standard. And then we might as well add a little caption so that total and labor have a space between them. Let's close that. Let's save our changes and run it now. Okay, so that looks a little bit better in that column. And if you scroll to the bottom, you will notice that there are some new work orders that nobody's worked on yet. There really is no reason for these to display. So we're going to add one more little adjustment to this. Under hours, for criteria, we're just going to say greater than 0. And let's save that and run it. And now if we look, we're only seeing work orders that have actual hours connected to them. And then we're seeing our total labor, which is exactly what we want. So at this point, we'll save and close the query.